Hey, wife.
Hello, husband.
You know how we always start these off with some personal antidotes and say
Mm-hmm.
antidotes. Well, I just want to bring up at the top of the show how sexy you looked last night.
Oh, well, that's very nice.
Looking like a whole snack.
Well, thank you.
Like a whole snack bar.
That's very nice.
Like an expensive snack bar.
Oh,
Like,
you're saying I'm high maintenance?
like I'm at the hotel and the Pringles are $19. Expensive, sexy snack.
Are you gonna buy the $19 Pringles?
I'll rent it.
No.
No? Can I not rent it?
No.
Can I not rent the snack?
No.
Because snacks are a lot of upkeep sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
I mean, I've been told that the snack that I have is perfect and wonderful.
That's right. And worth every penny.
Worth every single cent.
That's right.
That's right.
We did get all dressed up last night, though.
We
were celebrating Jackson, our oldest, was nominated for a High School Musical Theater award, or like an outstanding supporting performer. And so it was so cool to go to the ceremony and to just see, like, he got to perform.
It was awesome.
Which was really neat.
Yeah. And
cool dance number
at that place.
It's crazy.
My goodness.
These are high school kids, and the
talent. Oh my God.
Insane. They sang, so like the lead performers got to do these medleys where they each sang a little bit from the show that they were nominated for and the role that they were nominated for. So they did this mashup of all their songs, and that was really cool. And then the other cast members that were nominated got to open and close the show. And so Jackson was in the closing number, and it was so cool to see this dance number that was a mix of, Some Like It Hot and Great Gatsby. And
very Fosse, man.
Yeah, very Bob Fosse. It was just so fun. And just to see how he's grown over the years. He's about to be a senior. And so to see how his singing and dancing and everything has just grown.
What about your epiphany? You had a great epiphany while we were there. Don't cry, though. You can't
cry again.
You were crying at the show?
Yeah, I had this realization. So the theater that we were at 18 years ago.
18 years ago?
18 years ago.
I'm barely 19.
Well, yeah. We had gone to see Wicked at this theater, and we were celebrating our second wedding anniversary. And what we didn't know is that later that night, we would find out that I was pregnant with Jackson. We got home, and I took a pregnancy test, and it was a bit of a surprise, but it was exciting surprise. But surprise nonetheless. But I just had this realization sitting there last night that 18 years ago, almost to the day, we were, sitting there with Jackson unknowingly. And then now here we were watching him perform on the same stage.
On the stage?
Yeah. And so for us, for you and I, like to have met and fallen in love in high school theater and now have a kid in high school theater. And then just to see him performing at such a high level was just really special. Very full circle moment. So it was special. It made me emotional. Just very proud of him, and it was fun. It was a great night.
They were so talented.
Nice to get dressed up, and your mom went, Ollie went, and we just all had a great time. And just getting to see too the schools that were nominated for Best Musical each performed a song from their show, and so that was really neat. It was Newsies and Hadestown and Addams Family and Spelling Bee. So many good shows.
It was inspiring. It was really inspiring. It inspired me to write something, which I'm sharing with you today on the show.
Oh, I'm excited.
So that'll be fun.
I'm excited. I need these things to look forward to because we call it, a couple of my teacher friends were calling it Maycember because the end of the school year, the month of May, feels a lot like the chaos and overwhelm of the holidays. Like it's all good, fun things, but it's also stressful and there's just a lot to do. So we've dubbed it Maycember. I don't know that we coined that. It could just be a teacher thing, but I'm really latching on to that because the end of the year is a lot. All of these.
I had to pull you away from your work.
Yeah, it's true. I had to pause my work to come record, but it's the way things go this time of year. But the boys get out of school this week, which will be nice. So one less thing to.
Yeah, but as the person who works from home,
I'm boohoo.
I can tell you.
Yeah, tell me how hard your life is.
My other coworker is pretty quiet.
Is she?
Well, she's needy. Got a lot to say.
Very needy.
But she sleeps for most of the day.
Mm-hmm. What do you think teenage boys are going to do?
Yeah, but at least she's cute. And at least she loves me. Unlike my wife sometimes.
Okay. How did I get thrown under the bus?
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm just looking forward to them being out of school. They got lots of fun things lined up this summer.
Camps and things.
I know. Theater camps and travel for national competitions. And Jackson will be a camp counselor at a couple of theater camps and hopefully take him on a college tour, which is overwhelming. We're going to be getting ready to start college application.
He keeps turning that knife. He's like, this time next year, I'm going to be graduated, or I'm going to be I'll be ready to move out. Mm-hmm. He's not very nice to us.
He's not. He likes to see us cry.
And, I have a hard time with this.
I know. So
my baby.
But I'm ready for the summer days, and it'll still be busy, still lots of things, but I'm ready to get through May-Sember for sure.
Indeed. We did have some feedback.
Yeah.
From folks.
Yeah, we had a couple of people reach out and offer to be our experts. Mm-hmm. We're going to be talking to actually one of my former students that's in the military, her and her husband. And so they're going to talk with us about just military life, what it's like to be parents in the military. And she's in HR. So that's going to help too, just for our questions around deployments and things like that. So
rules and
excited for that. A couple of medical experts too, because we still haven't decided what Alex's sister, what is going to take her away from the kids, that he would have to kind of take over being their guardian for a little while. So
yeah, I think I'm still in possibly the sickness camp, but not, I don't know. That just needs to be motivated, Henry. I'm really mulling on this. I'm telling you, I'm writing notes all throughout the week, pros and cons. So I want to get that piece right, because that's going to be a big part of his story and what's driving his narrative and how he reacts to things.
Yeah, and I think that's why I'm want to be so intentional about doing research so that we make an informed decision about what this is for her and what it looks like in the story and how it impacts each of the characters and things. But we also last week, Julie Soto was our author of the week, and she reposted your jingle. She loved your jingle, so
yeah. My pre-mastered jingle. It's everybody. I think people think it's a bit. I'm not. I legit just forget that piece as I'm putting things together.
And now I'm notifying you to prepare for our author of the week coming up in a few segments.
Great.
Be prepared. But yeah, I love the authors. Love the jingles and love that when we get to highlight them and share about them, it's a lot of fun. And we learn more and find new books to read. We started a new book this week by Annabelle Monaghan. Well, it's an old book of hers. Her Nora Goes Off Script, which was her first big book. But we finished Jane and Dan at the End of the World.
We did.
By Colleen Oakley.
I was thinking about that when you were talking about research.
Yeah.
Because she clearly did a lot of research.
Yeah, for sure.
On a lot of that stuff. So that was really interesting. And I enjoyed it. It was a good one. It was a good change of pace for us because we kind of read the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that really stretched our brains a little bit.
Yeah, it was more fiction. It wasn't a romance, even though it was about a married couple. And we talked a little last time, or 2 times ago, I guess. There were a lot of similarities to where we are in our life and just, getting a little older, having older kids and, new phases of life and what that looks like. And I just really related in a lot of ways to Jane, the main character. But it was good. It was a fun story. And we enjoyed it. And now we started Nora Goes Off Script because, I've read Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan, but I wanted to read another one of hers. And she has a new book coming out, not this week, but next week, called It's a Love Story. So just excited to read another one of hers and go back to rom-com.
I really like what we've read so far in the book.
Yeah.
It's really interesting and fun.
It's about a woman who wrote her life story. Well, it sounds like, so she used to write manuscripts for
Lifetime movies,
like Hallmark movies and things like that. Yeah, like your, Christmas in the tree lot, the Christmas tree lot, in the tiny town, those kinds of movies. But then her husband left her, and so she wrote the story of that into a manuscript, and it got bought. And then they decided they wanted to film the movie at her house, at her 100-year-old house.
And that's not spoiler stuff. It's in the
no, that's first chapter, and that's on the blurb on the back of the book. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. She's like a single mom, and so we're seeing how that's playing out. And then there's the lead guy that shows up in a trailer in her front yard to live. So I'm sure there will be some
I hope there sparks there.
Yeah, we'll see. But fun to start just a new book and get back into the rom-com world too.
Absolutely.
And we also had a an email from our friend.
We did have
our friend JK from the Bay.
Oh my goodness!
He wrote us an unsolicited solicitation, which is becoming a fun segment that we unwittingly found our way into. But this one got us both giggling, so we have to
share this one.
Okay.
It starts with you here.
Yes, an unsolicited solicitation from JK from the Bay. Speaking of having a lot of layers, that's a good segue into this week's fake sponsor, No Tears Onion Chopper, helping to stop your squealing because it just ain't appealing.
Wait, so there's no more tearing up while I'm chopping my onions?
That's right. Innovative technology made in a new factory to protect your olfactory.
Oh, wow.
Are you okay?
I'm awesome blossom.
Wait, are you tearing up about onions no longer making you tear up?
As a man, I just need a good place to cry and not be judged. Onions were that safe space for me, and now technology has peeled that away.
I didn't realize.
You believe this will work out in the end, right? Shall it?
Well, on that note, we should get back to it.
Oh.
Yeah, we got us giggling. Shall it? That's so what. An olfactory? You know a science joke's going to get me every time.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, well.
On that note, let's bring in our theme song. Hello and welcome. I'm Andrea.
And I'm Matt.
We are a married couple writing our first...
I like saying it like the question, like, I'm Matt?
You're not sure about your name? I think I'm still Matt. We're a married couple writing our first rom-com novel together and documenting the process through our podcast. So thank you for joining today.
Well, you're welcome. Wait, were you not?
No, to you too. I'm glad you're here. Oh. It's very important for you to be here.
I did join today.
I appreciate you being here. You want to tell us a little bit about what we're doing today?
Yes. We've got Author Spotlight. I change the name of it every week.
Every time.
Because you call it Author of the Week.
Every time.
And then I sing the jingle, and it's usually Author of the Week. But then I say Author Spotlight. You guys know where I'm going with this. We have Author of the Week. We've got what I'm calling Matt's Writing Corner. And then I think we've got a little bit, not a game necessarily, but more of a fact-finding, character-finding experiment where we're going to play What Would Indy Do?
I love it.
We've got a couple little things we're going to talk through.
Just to get to know her better.
Yeah, how she would react in those situations.
I like it.
But I guess let's start with the Author of the Week.
Let's start with the Author of the Week.
Oh, the jingle. Yes. Okay, I got it. Ready? Well, I've just heard the news today that Nisha J. Tuli is on her way. She's Author of the Week. With arms wide open.
Beautiful.
That's it. That's as far as it goes today.
Thank you.
With arms wide open.
I'm sure Nisha's going to be so excited about her jingle. So yes, Nisha J.
She gives me credit.
Oh goodness! No, you and JK from the Bay
work on it.
Go workshop. Mm-hmm. Nisha J. Tuli is our Author of the Week. So excited to spotlight her. She's a recent addition to the author realm. So I'm convinced after doing some research about her. We did get to meet her last summer at an event in Arlington. When she was in town, that was really fun to get to go. And she was there with Abby Jimenez and Julie Soto and Farrah Rashawn. And so we got to meet her, but she's kind of new to the game. She didn't really start writing until the pandemic and published her first book in 2022. And she got popular through Book Talk. And so in researching her, I'm convinced that me and you and her would be good friends because she is like a perfect blend of the two of us.
Oh.
So she has a background, her degree is in engineering. So she's a science STEM girl. Sure. But then she also got a degree in creative communications. And so she was in like marketing. She did a lot of stuff she's from Canada, from Manitoba. And so she did a lot of like travel Manitoba. She was their senior manager of content marketing. And so I thought that was kind of neat that she's got the marketing background and the STEM.
Oh, wait, I do have a note here on our little run sheet that you were going to do a Canadian accent. So go ahead.
No,
I'm ready.
If anyone knows, is our listeners, is that you do the accent on this podcast.
No. Not north of the border. I can't.
That's
too offensive.
There will be no accent coming from me. Thank you. But recently it was kind of cool. Katherine Heigl was reading her book Trial of the Sun Queen, which is one of the ones. So she's been known for like fantasy and romantasy, as they call it. And Katherine Heigl was just talking about how she couldn't put the book down and was really excited. So that was neat just to see that attention. But she's really writes her Indian heritage into her books. And so I was lucky enough, she has a book coming out this week, actually, on Tuesday, May 20th, called Not Safe for Work. And this is this is her like debut contemporary romance novel. Like I said, she's been kind of on the romantasy side. And she has a YA novel, a young adult novel coming out, like a dystopian, it's set in like post-apocalyptic Manhattan, but it's like a dystopian romance for YA that's coming out next year. But the book coming out this week called Not Safe for Work, I was lucky enough to read as an ARC, an advanced reader copy on NetGalley. And like I said, it's her debut into contemporary romance, but she really wrote in a lot of her background as a woman of color in STEM. And so at the beginning of the book, kind of in her like author note at the beginning, that has a little bit of a content warning. She's saying like, if you think that the things being done or said like by the other people in this book like don't happen, they absolutely happen. They're all real things that happen to her or friends of hers and things like that. And so, in reading it, it was a great, fun, lighthearted book where these two in like kind of competing rival engineers get sent on this leadership retreat to a tropical place. And so there's the rom-com aspect of it, but then you're also seeing the other story of her career trajectory and how it's been impacted because she's a woman, because she's a person of color, and how she's been limited in ways and how she's had to navigate that and the things that she's had to tolerate and stuff. But you can really see how she wrote her experience into it. And so I really enjoyed it. As much as I love the lighthearted, fun, steamy, slow burn of a rom-com, I also really liked just seeing her perspective as a woman in STEM and for her character. So
very cool.
Yeah, it was really, really awesome. I enjoyed getting to read it. That comes out this week. Again, it's called Not Safe for Work. But I love how she writes, even in her fantasy novels and things, she writes stories that are rooted in her Indian heritage, and it combines like more modern storytelling with mythological inspiration and things like that.
I think that's a good thing for us to talk about in a later episode, is just cultural inclusion, what that looks like, especially if we're going to have any kind of Hispanic character.
Yeah, with Alex and his family, yeah.
Because, with my marketing background, we've done this a million times, right? I even worked at a Hispanic agency where we talked a lot about what is okay and what makes, what's cheesy, right? So like putting sombreros on everything, not good, right?
Yeah, not okay.
But there's certain things and traditions that if you keep them properly, they speak to actually knowing and being insightful into the culture. And I think that's something we can talk about at another episode.
Yeah, and I think it brings meaning and it helps with understanding why characters do the things that they do. I think so much of it, if it is rooted in family or culture or tradition, I think that's so important. And so, she's also known for the steamy romances as part of, especially with her romantasy, like Trial of the Sun Queen that came out in 2022 is about a woman being thrown into a trial to become the Sun Queen after being imprisoned for 10 years. And so it's like an enemies to lovers court intrigue, and she has just been writing like crazy. She's publishing anywhere between 2 and 4 books a year right now. So really becoming a very prolific author. But she's got like they call it the Urano series. That's the Trial of the Sun Queen, the Nightfire Quartet, Cursed Captor series, which was actually her first one was called Wicked is the Reaper. That came out in 2022. And so then she's got her first contemporary romance this week. But like I said, she's from Canada.
That's very cool.
She
put her on the list because all those sound very so exciting.
Yeah, and I really like Not Safe for Work. I wanna read one of her fantasy books. But yeah, she's very active, obviously, on TikTok, because that's where she really took off and went viral. And her handle is at Nisha J Writes. I'm sorry, Nisha J T Writes, NISHAJTWRITES, and that's also her Instagram. And then her website is nishajtuli.com. But yeah, I really want to dig more into some of her other books, since I've read The Not Safe for Work, and excited for that to come out and launch this week. But it is interesting, after reading this one and seeing it was a very slow burn to the steamy scenes.
Right.
And so I'm curious to go and read her fantasy books and see, like, are they more intense? And, like, what's the spice level? But yeah, I really enjoyed that. Enjoyed meeting her last year, and excited for celebrating her first
author we've met.
Her first contemporary romance book this week. So,
as you're talking, oh wait, I got to close out. I just heard the news today that Nisha J. Tuli is on her way with all my whole self. It just gets less.
I know that you can't even understand the words at some point.
You're talking about spice level. That kind of transitions me into Matt's writing corner. Are you ready for Matt's writing corner?
I mean, a little scared, but
you should be a little scared, because I've got some silliness for you, to tell you the truth. Because as we've been talking about writing the book, I've been jotting things in my notebook and writing paragraphs here and there, and just trying to find our tone and voice and all that sort of thing, because this is a genre that I'm kind of working my way into, right?
Yeah.
And so I've been practicing, and I started thinking about, how spicy is too spicy, and how many metaphors are too many metaphors.
Okay.
And just what the vibe should be like. So,
are you going to give me examples? Like, do we need to mark this episode as explicit?
We're going to see. I have one good example for you, actually. Because
listeners, beware.
Everybody beware.
If you have littles in the car, maybe save this segment.
It's not crazy. It's really not.
Okay.
But we talked, there's closed door style where things fade to black, right? We have that open door style where, like, you're there and you've got your popcorn with you and your...
Well, closed door is like you don't get the full description, but you understand what happened.
Yes.
Open door is you're there, you see every bit of it.
You got your popcorn and your...
graphic detail, yes.
It's all happening.
Yes.
Right? And so I started thinking about the classic tropes, the smoldering eyes, sculpted jaw lines, the abs that are growing abs on top of them, that kind of stuff. But how can we test the limits? And where's your line? I guess this is my real question for you, is where is your line when it comes to describing this stuff?
Yeah.
So,
well, I feel like I've already said there's one word that's off limits.
Okay. Let me scratch heat out of here.
Yes, for sure.
That's not in here.
Omit that. Good.
But I've written a little something, and let me read it to you, and you tell me where, at the end, where you're out. Okay.
Do you want me to just stop you?
No. Let me get through it.
Oh, goodness.
You ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. I knew I was in trouble the second I ran my fingers along his jawline and felt the stubble. Not the kind of aggressive sandpapery scruff that scrapes your face raw after a makeout session, but a soft, whispery fuzz, like he'd been kissed by a hedgehog and liked it. The stubble gave way to his chest, which was, shall we say, gently forested. Not enough to warrant a machete, but definitely enough for a small woodland creature to consider subletting. I was into it. I mean, who doesn't love a man with a little mystery under his V-neck? Then he peeled off his shirt and, his shoulder hair waved in the breeze like it had somewhere to be.
What is happening?
Like maybe it just graduated from hair school and was moving to Portland. It was long, longer than shoulder hair typically needs to be. It had swoop, a personality, a zip code. I tried not to let it distract me, but then his pants hit the floor and my eyes traveled down. His leg hair, vast, windswept, majestic. We're talking Lords of the Rings level drama. You could lose a fellowship in there. But the real kicker, the piece de resistance, his ankles. No, not just his ankles. The tufts of hair cascading down from them like nature's boot warmers. It was like a slow-motion shampoo commercial for Sasquatch. And then he turned, and I saw the toes. Each toe had a braid, a single artfully woven strand, like he'd hired a tiny stylist with a very specific taste. One braid was accessorized with a bead on toe hair. The hair was 3 feet long, a full metric meter, and it swished when he walked like he was a Disney princess making a dramatic entrance into a ballroom. And reader, I was still into it. Because at a certain point, you're not just undressing a man, you're unwrapping a woodland mystery.
What? I just think I disassociated. Like, do you have a body hair kink?
No, and it's not supposed to be body shaming. It's the opposite of that. But I'm just wondering, like, how much should we describe the hair? How important is the hair to you?
Not that important.
So we shouldn't do like a whole chapter.
That was about 6 paragraphs too much. And
okay. Was it too specific?
A little bit.
You need more body hair. Like,
I think we needed more content warnings before you started that. And I'm like, halfway through it, I was like, is this an unsolicited solicitation from JK from the Bay? Like,
it wasn't sexy?
I was not turned on.
Oh, well.
No, braided toe hair did not do it for me. That's
not your thing.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to, you know.
No, it's not body shaming. And I'm not yucking anybody's yum. I'm just trying to find a line.
Yeah, that was too much for me.
Too much.
Yeah. I remember being about 3 sentences in and being like, why is he still talking about like facial hair? That's a lot. Okay. And then when it was something about fuzz, but then something about kissed by a hedgehog, those two did not go together. Fuzz and hedgehogs, they're very different things.
They're a little bristly.
No, but you said it didn't get you like sandpaper. You said it was like a soft fuzz.
He was kissed by a hedgehog. Not like a hedgehog, but just
conjuring the image of a hedgehog does not go along with fuzz or soft.
Okay.
In any way. And so that was when my brain just started running off.
But what about like not enough to warrant a machete, but definitely enough for a small woodland creature to consider subletting? Is that too far?
Yeah, I don't want to think about rodents in someone's facial hair when I'm making out with them.
Okay, let me think about it. What about the shoulder hair that was waving in the breeze like it had somewhere to be? Like maybe it had just graduated from hair school and was moving to Portland.
That was a little bit funny, but again, if this is supposed to be sexy, I was not thinking sexy. I was laughing about what this person would look like moving to Portland. I mean, it seemed appropriate. I was like, yeah, Portland, that tracks.
Okay.
But definitely not in a space.
What about the leg hair that was like nature's boot warmers? You know, is that too much hair?
I don't even remember that part because you
were out of it
completely disassociated. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you like the bead part? The braid on the toe hair with the bead.
I mean, I'm all for a little flair. I like a man who wears jewelry or piercings or, you know, adornments and things. But again, my brain was nowhere near a sexy space.
Gotcha.
Like we would need to leave the door open because I would not be in the room.
Interesting.
Yes, it would not. This is not open versus closed door. It's like, oh, is that her car I hear peeling out the driveway? Yes, it is.
So if I had 3 foot long toe hair, you're not interested.
That
like just personally, your
personal for me does not do it. No.
Okay. What if I braid it though?
It's still
perm it.
Just
give it like a nice look, fade it up, a little skin fade, high and tight.
No.
Low taper fade.
No, I'm a little nervous for our book now because the plan was for you to write ahead and me to come behind, and now I'm just scared of what I'm going to encounter.
This is good or bad. So so if we're talking about hair and I'm describing hair on a scale of 1 to 10.
We've talked so much about hair. I was totally unprepared for this.
Oh, okay. I did just spring this on you. This is not
sure did
podcast magic. This is, I legit printed this separately to read to you.
I've just challenged our listeners to put yourself in my shoes right now. How would you respond in this moment? What kind of feedback would you give Matt? Please feel free to message us.
I'm just wondering.
Message him and give him feedback.
I think it's interesting.
On his writing take here.
This is just the hair part.
Oh my gosh.
Wait till we get to other parts.
This book is going to be a manuscript. This is the level of detail that we're going into.
Okay.
It's going to be an epic.
Okay, I'll put the paper down. I'll leave it right here.
Oh.
Okay. So, okay. Well, I got your notes.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Your line was probably after the first sentence of, I knew I was in trouble the second I ran my fingers along his jawline and felt the stubble. That was plenty. That's good for
you. Yeah.
You don't need things like...
I was on board until then.
His leg hair was vast, windswept and majestic. We're talking Lords of the Ring level drama. You could lose a fellowship in there. Not good. Too far.
I feel like you're like playing to the wrong audience. I mean, like Lord of the Rings fans might just get a good chuckle, but I think we have to, again, ask ourselves, like, what's our goal?
Interesting. Okay.
So I'm going to say mayor.
Okay. Fair enough. That's good feedback. Fine. All right, fine. Then take us...
Well, now you want to talk about Indy, and I just feel protective of her at this point. I'm scared to leave her in your hands.
You never know.
I feel okay. Let's play What Would Indy Do?
Okay. Okay. Tell me how it works.
So we're going to read a scenario, basically, and then we're just going to discuss how do we think Indy would react in these different situations. And if you're new...
Finding experience.
Yes. Yeah, we're just getting deeper into who she is. But if you're new to the podcast, as this happens to be your first episode, Indy is our lead female character. Her name is Anna Jones. Indy is her nickname. So cute, Indiana Jones. But she is the manager to her superstar sister, who we've determined we think is going to be like a Miss Rachel character, like a kids
Georgia C. Wild
TV show, or like
Blue's Clues Steve.
Yeah, like Blue's Clues Steve. Yeah, like somebody very positive, very like innocent, lighthearted, happy. That's who her sister is, and that's who she is in this like children's entertainment world. And she's the manager to her sister. Right. She's the older sister, very type A, very driven, very career focused and protective of her sister. And so we're gonna dig a little deeper into who she is through these scenarios.
Indeed.
Okay.
So I'll read you the first one.
Okay.
And we can chat it up. Let's say Indy is stuck in traffic on the way to a live appearance for her sister. And the only way to make it in time is to take some weird back alley route through this really sketchy looking neighborhood or alley or something like that she's never been to. Does she risk it? Like, does she drive through the crazy construction or whatever is happening, shady neighborhood? Or does she call in and tell her sister, hey, I'm not going to make it?
Oh, okay. So her sister's not in the car. Like, she's not trying to get her sister to the event.
Yeah, I think this is her trying to get to the event, and maybe, I mean, she kind of runs the show, so I'm sure she's got a great sense of responsibility.
Because I was originally thinking, goodness, I wonder if you could hear that thunder all of a sudden.
You can start with I was originally thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was originally thinking if her sister was in the car, I could see Indy like calling to get a police escort or something to get her there. But if it's just her by herself, I mean, I think realistically, I think she's going to do whatever it takes to get herself there. I mean, I don't see her encountering a situation where she doesn't feel confident or like
in control.
Yeah. Like,
that was the other thing I was thinking about with this. How far would she go? The idea is like, how far would she go for her sister, right?
Yeah.
And this was kind of a tough one for me because I don't know if she would be in this situation, because she would be the first one to the event to me, setting stuff up, laying the groundwork, making sure the sister has everything she needs to perform and everything's set up. So
yeah, I could see her delegating it, like, because I'm thinking, why would she not already be there? Maybe she had to go pick something up. I could see her delegating that to someone so that she could be there with her sister. I don't necessarily see her going to run the personal errands or whatever the thing is. But I mean, I'm sure there are situations where they would be apart and she would need to get there. Maybe a meeting ran long, or, she was reviewing some contract and, I don't know. But
in that same vein, what kind of driver do you think she would be? an aggressive driver, an even-keeled driver.
I say this about myself, offensive.
It's on offensive
driver. On the offensive, not a defensive driver.
Okay.
She's being
very familiar with you being on the offensive when we're driving.
I'm a good driver, okay? No, I just think I think she's...
Is she going to throw as many fingers as you do?
I do not throw fingers. I do not. I just talk to people. And it's like, it's just for me, because as soon as I say it, I let it go. So it keeps me from like getting upset while I'm driving. So if somebody cuts me off, I'm like, yeah, come on over. Plenty of room. Like,
I mean, you say that, but when the kids were little, they would echo the things you said in the car.
It was nothing terrible. My favorite, though, was Oliver when he was like 18 months old. And one time he goes, come on, people, no stopping in the road. We got it on film. Come on, people, no stopping in the road. But yeah, that's the thing, is like, I'm not an angry or aggressive driver. I just like talk to people constantly. Like, I just say things like, well, that was a bad idea or whatever. Like, I'm mostly sarcastic, but it just lets me let it go.
In a character, though, because when we write things, they have to be meaningful or additive to the character of the story. In a character, what do you think that signifies? Not you. I don't want to stereotype you because this is like real life. This is because I do the same thing. But as a character, if we included the fact that she talked to, you think that means an anxiousness or like?
Maybe I just like a busy brain. It's like a busy brain to me. Yeah. That she's thinking of what she's got, not just that she needs to get there on time, but what she needs to do as soon as she gets there. She's prioritizing things in her mind. And if she's running late and she's losing time, she's reshuffling of like, okay, well, now I only have time to do this, or I need to fire off a quick text to so-and-so that's already there to have them doing this thing because now I'm not going to have time. Like, I just think she's going to have a very busy, like logically oriented brain of like task focused. And so if she's talking to other drivers, it's just like, that's just part of her inner monologue.
Yeah. It's got me thinking about the juxtaposition with Alex, the dude who we've talked right now of him being like some sort of barbecue caterer,
right,
chef guy, and barbecue specifically is long cook time,
right, slow,
and slow,
yeah.
And I think it's a nice little.
I like that too. I like that too. Yeah.
I think it.
Because I think that's part like I don't know that she would have the patience for barbecue, or that could she let herself slow down enough for that.
She does live in a world that everything's right now.
Like I don't think that she would love fishing.
We have the schedule.
Yeah, I don't think she would love fishing as a hobby because it's like you're just sitting and waiting.
You know, as you mentioned that, maybe that's part of the book. They get away and go do something really slow. Yeah. I don't want to say tedious, but like just slow and ice fishing or something.
And I could see it coming from a place of her not loving being alone with her own thoughts. That she likes the busyness, that keeps her distracted and focused and keeps the attention away from herself. And so I like the idea that Alex is more comfortable with himself and his own thoughts, and likes the slower pace and the time to reflect or meditate a little bit or whatever it is.
Yeah, I like that. I'm writing it down because I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Her thoughts. Yeah. Okay. Let me give you the second one then.
Okay.
She's invited to an exclusive influencer brunch as her sister's +1, but they expect her to act like she's part of the brand. Does she play along, or like find a subtle way to rebel or do her own thing?
And by part of the brand, you mean like acting like her sister, like the positive, you're welcome.
No, I think they're like kind of not expecting her to be front and center and run the show and be, hi kids, but I think it's more like, can you be this overly bubbly, kind of non-jaded, kid-friendly version of yourself?
Yeah.
I
don't see that as much. Like, I see her being very professional in a space like that. Like, her sister has the entertainment side handled, and she's the positive, the light, the whatever. I think that she would be warm, but I don't feel like she's going to be overly social.
Yeah. I feel like she's behind the scenes and she wants to be behind the scenes. Yeah. And she's like,
I think she's going to try to fade into the background as much
engine running everything where she's not.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I think, again, she's always going to do whatever it takes where her sister is concerned. So if it would benefit her sister, I don't think she's going to be fake, like in a bubbly way.
I don't think so either. That's a great distinction.
Yeah. No.
I don't think she's I'm going to be fake. I'm going to do it for the great type person.
Right.
I think she's more professional but I don't want that to sound like not fun because I think she is a lot.
No, I think of it.
Smart.
I think it's in a sense that she wants to be true to herself and she can be kind, she can be social, things like that. But I also think that kind of stuff might drain her battery a little more than when she's able to just focus where she thrives in like taskmaster and logistics and, kind of running the show behind the scenes. And so I think too, she probably avoids as much of that as possible because that's just not where she feels most comfortable.
Yeah.
Whereas her sister loves the spotlight, loves making people laugh, loves engaging in conversation and asking people questions. But again, I think Anna avoids that a lot.
And that actually leads to the last one I have written down here. A fan recognizes her, not her sister, for the first time. They love how she manages things behind the scenes and want her advice. Does she light up, deflect, freeze up? Does she give advice? What does she do you think?
I have a thought, but what is your take?
My thought is she would be shocked and surprised first that anybody noticed her because she has been behind the scenes. And then two, I think she would be loving and caring. I want her to be warm and personable in the professional space.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think she would be flattered was my first instinct. I think she would be flattered with someone noticing her that way or admiring her work. But I think she's still through her professionalism, she's going to set a boundary. I think she's going to say, can we exchange information? I would love to set up a call with you or let's meet for coffee and send me what questions you have or things like that. Like, I don't think she would be pulled off sides to have that conversation right there in the moment. I think that she would care about like mentoring that person or answer, like if it wasn't something that could be answered in a minute or two, if that person was like, I would just love to know what your career or you're this or you're that. Like, I think that she would say like, I would love to talk with you about that, but like, let's set up a time for that. I think she would still set a boundary because I think her focus is on sustainability, like she knows what she has to give to her sister. And so she's got to be protecting her own energy and her own peace. And as much as I think she would be flattered by that person saying that and would want to entertain that for a little bit, I think if it seemed to be a bigger thing and she knew that person well enough or respected them or whatever it is, like that she would want to mentor them, then she would schedule space for that.
Do you think in the same vein, do you think she would have a thought of, people are always trying to get to my sister through me?
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a layer of that. I'm in my brain, I'm in the background thinking like she's probably going to run a background check on this person. Like I grew up, my mom worked for the police department growing up, so she ran background checks on many of my friends. And so I'm sure in her mind she's thinking like, oh yeah, this is cute. If this is going to go further, if we're going to meet or talk or whatever, even just being seen with somebody, I think she's going to be very protective and very like she wants to like vet this.
To me, that's the sister first kind of like mentality of
and not that the person's going to be around her sister, like it may be genuine, but I do think that she's always going to have that thought of
she'll be suspicious, she'll be a little aware.
Yeah, she's not. I feel like her sister is somebody that trusts everyone,
right? And
Anna trusts almost no one,
right? Which creates that I need to keep an eye on her.
I think Anna trusts her sister. Anna trusted her grandma. Like that passed away at the beginning of the book. We open on the funeral,
but everything else she's had to do herself. For herself.
And I think that's it's her like independence. Has come about because of her childhood and her experiences, and so I just don't think, as much as I think she has a heart for wanting to help other people, I think she's going to be a little reserved before jumping in with both feet.
I like that.
Yeah,
I think that makes sense. Good. I think we're on the same page.
Yeah,
because we have to kind of play some of these things to the extreme.
Yeah.
Right. So I think we're talking pretty logically about something that may show up in the book as, she came up and said, hey, I really admire your work. And all I could think about was, well, what does she want from my sister? Right. Like that's the.
Yeah. Like she can't even take the compliment.
Right.
Because she's automatically thinking like, what do you want? What's your motive?
Exactly.
Not in a negative way, but just because she's had to evolve in a protective way like that.
Absolutely.
I like this though. I feel like it helps me get to know her even better. I think we should play it.
Let's keep playing this game.
Yeah.
And play with Alex and the other characters and come up with some more scenarios too, because we're feeding our brains.
Yeah.
And so do you want me to read you the hair thing again?
I don't think so. Yeah, I really think we need to figure out these characters before we start writing, because that was clearly a detour from...
Is that not?
No.
Oh.
I feel like I trust you less.
Oh.
And so I need to be a little more protective with my...
I'm sure somebody's out there more excited about the book.
Good for them. Write that book for them. You'll sell one book. Yeah. Okay. No, but I feel the instinct to protect my peace a little more before you read to me.
I definitely surprised you. That's
what got me with that one.
Podcast jokes. That's a real surprise.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to be dreaming about that against my will. But yeah.
Okay. Well, let's close it out there.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us, for listening. As always, please follow along on Instagram at Our Next Chapter Podcast, or on TikTok. We're not as active over there, but Instagram's really where we're at. Our website is ournextchapterpodcast.com. You can go there and sign up for our eventual newsletter, but mostly to get your name in our book. We're going to put all of our day one fans in our acknowledgments when we publish our book. And with a goal of the end of this year. So we're excited here in June, now that school will be out. We're planning a writer's retreat to start putting some...
Oh, man.
I say words on paper, but it's like fingers to keyboards.
Fingers to keyboards.
Words on screen. There's that.
That's it.
Yeah, but thank you for just continuing to listen, sharing, reviewing. It all makes such a difference, and we appreciate all of your support. Let us know what you think about Matt's Woodland mystery story. Do you want more of that? Please say no.
You know I do.
Yeah, thank you for joining. Until next time, I love you.
And I love you. Each toe had a braid, a single artfully woven strand, like he'd hired a tiny stylist with a very specific taste. One braid was accessorized with a bead on toe hair. The hair was 3 feet long, a full metric meter, and it swished when he walked.